Okay, it's Friday, January 28th, and end of a week. I thought I'd do a kind of a wrap-up video here showing both what happened today and then how the week ended and what to look for going forward. I think anyone watching the market after today has to be a little encouraged in terms of the upside now. And the main thing is this is the daily chart. You can see here we're closing with a pretty nice green day heading up, even though we still really haven't broken out of these last 5 days. You know, it's a kind of a trading range. But if you look at the weekly chart, this is kind of what we're looking for, kind of, this hammer type of bar that looks like it's a reversal type of bar that we can follow through higher next week. You know, again, we never know, but this certainly looks like the type of bar that you expect to follow through next week. And that could mean in the bigger picture, if I just kind of look at the monthly chart, means we broadened out lower, and now we're looking for that weekly reversal to confirm that. And even on the quarterly chart, there have been some longer time frames that were targeted on the downside that were hit. And in order to now, say that you're not going to continue lower, you want to see that weekly reversal. So this is kind of the first sign. You got a lot heavy volume all week, which is expected given all the volatility. And if we can follow through higher next week, then all of a sudden you start looking at these targets above. And on the daily chart, if we can start out with a 2, well, I'll show you in a second. Yeah, this is a 2 down. And if we can get a 2 up next week, you have these, you just got to break through the initial targets are these little daily targets here. But you can see if we break through there, that then breaks through the weekly high. And in terms of getting to the next weekly high on the daily chart, you can see there's a whole bunch of pivots here. There's like 4 in a row that we could take out. So there might be a very strong rally happening next week. Again, we just go day by day and watch the open and the price action, everything else. In terms of today, just to I made a few pre-market videos and midday update videos, but this is the hourly chart, and you can see here, and you can watch the previous videos, how I was anticipating a down start and maybe even a very, on the daily chart to break through these, the inside day yesterday to break through and really start targeting down here, broadening out lower. I mean, that was what I thought might be happening. But then within an hour, you saw that you were failing, to go lower. And you can watch the midday update I had video showing how at that point, once we came down and hit the midway point of that bar, the first bar heading higher, that kind of changed the tone of the day. I still wasn't sure. This is kind of the this blue line here was both the midpoint to yesterday, and it also corresponded to the overnight high. So that's what I was looking at to break to the upside to confirm that we might be getting a 3-up day going, and we actually broke through there. If we failed at that point, I was kind of thinking maybe we could just continue on down for the day, but the hourly chart just went right through it. So at that point, you kind of pause for a couple of bars. Now, let's say you still wanted to be very aggressive and you saw the inside bar forming here and it broke to the downside and you just said, okay, we're still short. Well, it did reach the target. First of all, the real first target was just this first bar, but essentially it came down and took out, once it kind of quickly went through there, your next target was down here on the hourly chart to broaden out. What's key to that is that's the purple line here. That's the open of the entire week. I put it down here. This is where that week opened. If we look at, this chart here on the weekly chart, this is the open of the week. So you would have to get below there to flip this week to red and then maybe looking into red to next week. But what happened was price immediately took out the stops here on that target and then immediately came up, and it almost formed a 50% rule, back to the upside. And now we're closing strong to end the day here. There's actually like 5 minutes to go in the day. So it's a very good close. And this could be the big reversal here for the market in general. I mean, it could be that significant. So we'll see what happens next week. Again, if you look at the hourly chart, we're closing, we're going to close green. So we'll have to see on the opening on Monday, if we close, if we start up with an immediate 2-up bar, then we can look for 5-minute and 15-minute momentum trades to start the day. You never know. We might start, might gap down a little bit, and that could be an inside bar on the 60, and that will allow us to look to buy, the break out of that bar. But I'll get into that, Monday morning. But for now, that's the big picture. This could be very significant, and we'll just see what happens on Monday.